Do I sound good?
Yeah, you sound good right now.
Cool. Alrighty. 2, 1. Hey, welcome guys to the newest episode of the GamingForFools podcast. Here with my co-host, virtually, Nice Slash. What's up, baby?
What it do?
What it do? It's been a fucking while, man.
Oh.
It's been a while.
It's been years. We haven't done this since last year.
Yeah, literally has last year. But yeah, we're gonna be a little more consistent this time. We had some hiccups, kind of conflicting schedules and all that. So we're hopefully gonna be more consistent this year and do at least once a month. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, a lot of shit this morning. Some fucking bomb dropped at, I think it was 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's when I woke up.
Yeah,
I woke up to seeing like everybody exploding about this.
Yeah, man, you want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, so like he said, like around 6 a.m. PST for us, Microsoft ended up buying Activision and Blizzard.
Oh yeah.
And it was for $68.7 billion. That is so much fucking money. And they're getting a lot of gains from it. It's basically what their company needed. They needed like games for their console, because you really think like of only like the same three that they've always had, which is like Forza, Gears, and then Halo.
Right.
They didn't have that much variety, so lately they've been trying to acquire like companies and stuff so they can have like exclusive, and they bought like a huge one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think some people understand how much money they dropped. It was 68.7 billion, and Nintendo, they compared it to like Nintendo, which is worth $71 billion. So just like a couple more billion, and it's like the same as like a whole ad like company that has their own system. Like
right.
that was a lot that they just dropped.
And they needed it because, like you said, they didn't have any kind of first-party exclusives. That's when it comes to that game, Sony wins. They've been winning for the last 10 years, and this is exactly what they needed. But I will say, if Xbox was a person, they would be Jeff Bezos, because if Jeff Bezos was a broke dude, nobody would fuck him. But because he has $50 billion, every woman wants to hop on. And so that's where Xbox is. They're just gonna buy. No one's making shit on Xbox right now that's really worth of anything besides of Halo and Forza.
The only thing they have right now for Xbox, well, recently besides like them getting like Bethesda and shit, but their selling point at the moment isn't like their IPs, because they don't like have shit. Their selling point is Game Pass, is just Xbox Game Pass that they've been promoting like crazy, which is like really good. And I guess now they're gonna have even more like free games for us to like have to choose for, like to have now.
So for us PlayStation plebs, explain what Game Pass is and what it offers.
Game Pass is like a lot of people consider it's like, it's kind of like a Netflix subscription. You can pay up to $5, $10, or you can get the ultimate, which is like $15, and you get access to pretty much free games, like a bunch of like free games that you could just like pay. Not pay. I mean, you could just download and you have the entire game to yourself, as long as you still have the game. Like, as long as you're still paying for the subscription every month, you just get a bunch of free games to play. So you don't even have to drop like. The biggest worry for people nowadays is like, you don't want to buy a $60 game and then it turns out that it's garbage, or that it sucks, and it's like, man, why'd I drop like 60, 50, whatever on this game, and I didn't even like it. Now I gotta like return it and get half price. At least with this, it's like you have so many games to try, and once you pay the subscription, all of it is free. You could just play it. That's
Holy
like
shit.
such an amazing deal, and that's why they've been promoting it like crazy, and that's why Sony at the moment is starting. Before they were like, we can't. Before they when Xbox had it in the beginning, they were like, we can't do this type of subscription.
Hmm.
We can't make much profit out. There wouldn't be much more profit. There'd be like a lot of loss. But then recently they've been noticing that like Microsoft has been making a bunch of money through their own through Game Pass that now they're starting to do their own thing. Sony they've been teasing that they're gonna have their own Game Pass too, Game Pass as well. Which I mean, thank God, because like there's a lot of like Sony games that I would like to try, but I just don't want to cough up the money for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like a PS Plus Pro or something
Yeah.
like that, where
Hmm.
instead of having PS Now, which nobody fucking cares or uses, you're gonna be able to download games, and they're probably gonna extend the library a couple generations back, probably to PS1, hopefully,
Yeah, that's
because
what a lot of people are hoping for, like PS3 games, PS2, like that'd be nice to
yeah,
have.
the legacy titles, a lot of people want that stuff. The
Hmm.
people who like for Xbox, for example, right, that they have the backwards compatibility, and a lot of people make use of that, and
Yeah,
it puts
that
games
kind
up
of
to
sucks that
4K and all
Sony
that.
doesn't have that at the moment. I really wish they would.
And that would be a huge selling point for this PS Plus Pro or
Hmm.
whatever it would be called. But
I
and
would
then
love it if Sony did that. Oh my God, there's so many like PS3 games that I would want. I want to play like a lot of like the Resistance series,
yeah,
Resistance, Killzone. There's a lot of like games that I have adding it around to playing for that generation.
same here. Like I haven't played any of the older God of War games, so I feel a little hesitant getting into the reboot. And I
Hmm.
haven't played any of them, so I'm like, I want to go back and play them. So
Yeah,
Sony,
yeah,
but
and what's they bought? So basically, the acquisition that they got so many like companies through buying Activision and Blizzard. Uh, they got a they got Activision, they got Blizzard, they got Beanox, they got Demonware, they got Digital Legends, they got High
jeez,
Moon Studios, they got Infinity Ward, they got King, which makes what's it called? What's that mobile app? Hold up, Candy Crush. So now
wow,
they own that, which they own Infinity Ward, they own Major League Gaming, they own Radical Entertainment, they own Sledgehammer Games,
wow.
Raven Software, Toys for Bob, Treyarch, and every team across Activision Blizzard. And at the moment, it's weird because and a lot of people are talking about it is that Microsoft now has Crash Bandicoot and Spyro,
Which are Sony? They used to be Sony
which are
exclusives.
Sony, which
That's
are
such
kind of
a
like Sony mascots. That's
that
so weird to
that
see.
that should be illegal.
Yeah,
That
that is.
that's
It's like
crazy.
them. It's like them buying Uncharted, and then Uncharted being an Xbox exclusive. It's like that is so weird.
It's
That now Crash and Spyro are now. A lot of people were like tweeting this is that Crash and Spyro could now do a crossover with Banjo Kazooie, and that's so weird,
that's
bro.
cool though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool as fuck. But it's like I guess those two are considered like Sony mascots. That it's their Microsoft mascots now.
Right. Like I remember in Fortnite, you were able to play as Master Chief on the PS4, and you could play as Kratos on the Xbox. So we can already see a little bit of
Hmm.
the interchangeable IP stuff. I mean, that's cool. I
Hmm.
mean, why not? Right. The inner like PlayStation pride that I have, I have hate, but I know it's not coming from the right place, and that everyone should enjoy the games, and the more people who have eyes on the game, the better, because it's gonna produce better content, better sequels, and it's gonna let these developers eat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like I've always said that competition is good.
Yeah,
Because if Microsoft was only one, like the only company, or like Sony was the only company, they wouldn't like give us all this free shit.
yeah.
So it's always good that they're always trying to one up each other. Um, as for the acquisition, um, so they bought Call of Duty, but if I remember right, reading on the article, uh, I don't think they're gonna make Call of Duty exclusive. I think that's still gonna be multi-platform. I think they're still gonna have like it so like PlayStation people could also get it. But I um I do think that they're gonna do what they've usually done before, which is like uh DLC,
Like
stuff like
first
that.
on Xbox.
Yeah, yeah, for like a couple months, Xbox gets it first, so
Hmm.
it's gonna make it like, uh, you could get them on both consoles, but obviously one will have stuff early, or might get stuff like exclusively that Sony can't, because Microsoft owns them. That it's like the one version is superior than the other, and I'm that's most likely what they're gonna do. I doubt Call of Duty is gonna be like actually exclusive. That's a lot of money that they would lose,
Exactly.
just from cutting off Sony. But I definitely agree with others that they're just gonna make the Xbox version more, the superior one.
Like having your game to be more accessible across all platforms, that is the ideal launch of a game. Like look
Hmm.
what happened recently with Sony throwing God of War to PC. That PC saw the most players on God of War since launch. I think it was like 60,
Yeah.
70,000 congruent players. That's what Sony got at launch day or launch week. So now, I mean,
Hmm.
this is just, it's perfect because more people, more money, more revenue, everyone wins.
Yeah. I'm kind of happy that they they ported it to PC. I completely forgot that they did that.
Same, that was very recent. That was like within the last
Mm.
week or so.
Mm.
And we're gonna probably keep seeing this with titles that Sony is developing. But the thing is, like, they have to, the PC players have to wait about a couple years. Like I remember they got Days Gone recently. They got Horizon, now God of War. But those games they came out like in 2018, 2019. So it's been a while now. And
Mm.
so being a PC player will give you all the performance, all the visuals, but at the cost of patience and avoiding spoilers. So if
Hmm.
you have the patience and the money to do so, you can do
They
that.
might start. Hopefully, they start doing it like same release, or maybe not too far along. Cause yeah, a year is probably like too much. That's too
Yeah.
much.
God of War was like 2018, right? 2019?
God, I think that was 2018.
So
I
that's
believe it was.
been around three to 4 years. So,
Yeah.
but people are loving it, as you can see. 70,000 congruent players on
Yeah.
Steam. That's incredible.
I can't wait for the new God of War.
Same here. I got to play it because, like I just said, I haven't played the first 18 God of War, so now I'm gonna have to wait and play.
As far as I know, those don't matter because it's kind of like a reboot. But I agree. I haven't played like any of the God of Wars. Besides like God of War 3, I only played like the beginning of it. But I never played any of the classic ones.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna get it as soon as I get a PS5. Which you got your PS5. I'm fucking jealous. Uh,
Yeah,
I,
I
I'm
know. I
I'm gonna
haven't. I
play
haven't
it.
even set it up. I'm still talking to you on the PS4.
What?
Yeah, I haven't even like set it up yet, but I plan on it. It's cause I think I'm more so waiting because of like setting it up because, well, one, I want to get the Series X, so I just want to
Hmm.
put both of them there. But also I want to get the I've been seeing it online and I want them now, the because Sony has official ones now,
Hmm.
the black covers.
Ooh. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
For
that's I don't want to put this white console on it and then for it to get dusty and then it looks nasty.
right.
Like I want to wait till I get the black cover so it looks more like sleek to me.
Yeah. You don't mind the dirt is there. You just don't want to see it.
Have you seen, by the way, uh the PlayStation controllers that like Greg Miller and like other people have been tweeting out, like the colors on them?
The cosmic colors, right?
Yeah, dude, they look so good. Oh
They
my
look
god.
they look all right. It's not my cup of tea, but screw it.
It's but like the blue and the dark blue. I would rather that than the white. I just don't like the colors
True.
white because it's like I just feel like they could get dirty fast.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still trying to get my PS5 for Christmas. I was gifted a VR headset, which I haven't yet to plug in. Funny
Stream's coming
enough,
soon.
stream's coming soon, and funny enough, they actually they announced PSVR 2 around the same week that I got this,
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
so yeah, it's gonna be cool, man, because they're talking about the specs and they're saying that it's on par with like the top tier headsets that are out now. So it's gonna
Hmm.
have the power, it's gonna have the exclusives, it's gonna
I
have the games.
absolutely want a VR. Oh my
There's
god.
there's gonna be super hot Resident Evil, X videos. Like, there's gonna be so much
Shut
content
up.
on this thing to use it for. I'm so pretty
Shut the
excited.
fuck up.
So excited.
I was checking right now. Minecraft is owned by Microsoft, but you can still get it on the PlayStation Store. I had to double check real quick. So yeah, I feel like COD will be is definitely gonna be the same thing,
Yeah.
but it's just it will still be multi-platform. It's just one will be the superior version over the other. But still, I doubt they can like. I really doubt they'll shut Sony away from plan like. That's a lot of sales that they would lose. I really thought that they would just exclusively leave it on Microsoft.
No, I mean they've done that already. Where I think they had a year exclusivity deal with Tomb Raider, one of the Tomb Raiders,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember
they had
that.
it. It was 1 year. It was locked on Xbox, and they didn't sell shit. And
Yeah,
then
I remember this
and
shit.
then
I remember that.
lo and
The
behold,
game did not fucking
it
sell.
didn't sell. And once they released it to other platforms, then it sold like hotcakes.
But what sucked is like that didn't that stop it from them making any more sequels?
I don't know. I don't remember which entry that was in the series, but I know that 3 is like story wise, it kind of wraps everything up. But
Oh, okay.
there could be
Okay.
more. Who knows? Who knows?
I just remember that controversy back then where it was like it's cool that they got it for exclusively, but like then you looked at the sales and like that didn't even fucking
And,
sell.
like
They did not make that much. They did
like
not make profit on that.
Xbox exactly. Xbox definitely did not get their return for
Hmm.
purchasing that studio for a year.
But it's kind of like it's their fault because it's like okay, Tomb Raider is big, but
It was big.
yeah, it was big, but the issue is just they don't have the IPs where it's like how many people are gonna be like, oh wait, Tomb Raider's on Xbox now. Alright, I have to drop $500 on this console to play it.
No,
No,
nobody.
like there's not enough exclusives to like warrant a fucking Xbox. While like over here Sony, it's like they have all these shits. It's like oh well, I mean why would I not get it?
The, Tomb Raider is a great series. I think in terms of gameplay, it's the best like treasure hunter series. Like in terms of Uncharted and Tomb Raider, like Tomb Raider has the best gameplay out of like archetype of games. But story
Hmm.
wise, it's got the shittier version. They have better gameplay, but it's a shittier story.
Tomb Raider has best story.
Yes, it's just
Okay.
it's not great. Like
Hmm.
for me, the character that the motivator in that game in that series is the gameplay. That said, Tomb Raider is not a franchise anymore that's going to be moving units.
Yeah, exactly. That's
this is
that's
not
the
it.
thing is that's not gonna that doesn't sell units.
I could see this flying at a console launch because there's always a scarcity of titles, especially first party titles at a launch of a console.
Usually launch consoles is like
So
it's multi-platform games. Like there's rarely any
Call of
IPs.
Duties or Ubisoft games.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So
Assassin's Creed or some shit.
so had Xbox acquired this deal at that time, then I think there's value, there's return. But since we're in the middle of a console generation, there's not really a reason to be doing this. I think,
Hmm.
especially if it's for a year. But I think Xbox is making the right move because this is desperately what they need. They can't make
Hmm.
their own. They can't make their own first party titles, so they're just buying them all up, and that's
Shut the fuck.
it creatively. It's bankrupt. It really is. Like creatively speaking, they're bankrupt. They're not
Yeah,
making great games
they
right now.
right now. No, the thing is that like a lot of people are saying that it's like that's a lot of money.
It's a
That's
lot
a
of
lot of
money,
money that these men. I mean, they have a lot of money, but that's still a lot.
but the
That
creativity.
but the thing is that like they're gonna get back so much money back
Oh
from
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
That's why they bought them. It's like they're gonna get a lot of that money back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that they hired already like new devs to make games for them. Then they got Bethesda. Now they got Blizzard Activision. By now they have like a lot of. Finally, they have a lot of IPs now. That it's just to see what games they're gonna make now.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's funny because I think it was maybe 3, 4 years ago, Xbox was buying all these indie developers and investing in all this and that, and we're finally seeing it come to fruition, and we're actually seeing some games come out. Like Halo came out, it was just laughed at, memed to death. They pushed it back by I think it was like 10 months, 9 months or so, and it came out, it was actually a decent game. And then Forza came out, everyone loved it, so they're doing some good work right now. They need to
Yeah,
continue
they're doing really good.
the habit and releasing original content, original games. Hopefully they could get some game or series out of Bethesda, because we've got a dozen studios making some of the best games in their current time. So we'll see like what exactly comes out of these deals, these recent deals, because they're very fresh, and we'll see like, is Fallout going to be coming to PS5 now? What about what's it called? Starlight?
StarCraft?
No, the new Bethesda game. But
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name. It is Star. It's Star something, but I can't think of the name.
But we'll see if these games are like, these deals are gonna come to fruition, and like let's see, like we're gonna see the fruits of the labor, and are these investments gonna pay off? Like that's the big question. So next, moving on, you got your PS5. We talked about that. Dying Light. The developers of Dying Light recently came out and they made an announcement saying that it would take 500 hours to complete Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is marked for release in February 17th. And a month before that, they say, our game coming out next month is going to take you 3 full-time jobs to complete.
The thing is that the way, I guess, because they had worded it, a lot of people thought that, like, oh, in order, like, to beat the campaign and all that shit, it takes 500 hours just to beat the campaign. And a lot of people were like, dude, fuck no. Like, it's just 500 hours is like so much to consume.
It's ridiculous.
I had seen what some people had said, and it's weird. It's like younger when you don't have like jobs or like responsibilities. 500 hours is like, yo, fucking amazing. This is amazing. This is like heaven. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it's 500 hours. Yeah, it's literally Merry Christmas. But as you get older and it's harder to find time to game, like you love gaming, but it's harder to like find time. 500, yeah, it's harder to commit. You think of 500 hours, like, bro, I'll never finish that game. Like, that is so much hours.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people were like, you know what? Hot take. I prefer 8-hour games or like 7-hour games or shit like that.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like for me personally, when I read that announcement, I knew for a fact the messaging and the wording was off.
It's the wording that fucked it up.
And then secondly, I knew for a fact it would be 500 hours if you wanted to 100% the game, and that is only for the small niche of gamers who like trophy hunting, who like 100% of the game.
Yeah, getting platinums and shit.
Getting platinums, increasing the gamer score, and for Pride and for a Twitter post or a Facebook post. But that's not the majority of the gamers. Majority of gamers will do the main quest, the main campaign, some of the side content, and they leave. If the game has DLC out, they'll wager whether they're gonna buy it or not, and they go from there. But the base game, realistically, it's going to be 20 to 30 hours if you want to get all of like the trophies. Apparently, again, the messaging in this second message was weird too.
Do you have the screenshot for that, by the way?
I don't. But
let me get that real quick.
Yeah, pull it up. So the base game, it's going to be 20 to 30 hours. If you want to get all the collectibles, it's going to be 50 total. If you want 100% the game, that's going to be the infamous 500 hours. So this begs the question.
There you go. I got it. Okay. Because they had posted so because a lot of people were like, this is like a hot topic. People were like, why is it 500 hours to like beat the game? Like, that's so much. That no game should be like that. And they had put out a tweet saying, We wanted to clarify our recent communication about the amount of hours required to complete the game. Dying Light 2 Stay Human is designed for players with different gameplay styles and preferences to explore the world how they see fit. So they put out this image. It says 20 hours equals time needed to complete the main story. 80 hours is time needed to finish the main story and all the side quests.
Damn.
And then 500 hours is time needed to max out the game with all main and side quests, choices and endings, checking every place on the map, every dialogue, and finding every collectible. That's what the 500 hours is. Yeah.
So I think this begs a bigger question, Eric. Quality over quantity or quantity over quality?
I mean, if I want every game to have both, but I always prefer quality over quantity. If it can have both, obviously I would want both. But if I had to choose one, quality for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't want to play a shitty game with like a lot of content. I'd rather have like not that much content, but it's a very great game.
Like the feeling when you finish a video game and it leaves you wanting more. Like you finished it clearly. There's no DLC, or maybe there's not any DLC planned yet, and you're like, I want to beat this again, I want to play it again, or where's more, right? That's a great feeling to have as a developer, you know, giving the game to players and then be like, oh, I want more. But nowadays, it's the opposite. You play Ubisoft games, or for me recently, I played Alien Isolation. That game is 25 hours long. It's a horror game. It's like an Outlast archetype. That game should have been 8 to 5 hours. That game was 25 hours.
It's like
there's so much fluff.
Yeah, the thing is that I feel like, especially horror games, I don't think horror games should be long.
No.
You at a certain point, you lose the horror factor because it's like, why is this going for so long?
And the problem is specifically the thing is, a game has to create tension, and then it has to maintain tension throughout the duration of the game.
Exactly. That's right. For 25 hours, you have to maintain that tension. No, you can't.
And especially when you're playing a game like Alien that's influenced by Outlast, you have a unkillable entity chasing you throughout the entire game, and that's the twist. And there's barely any differentiation since like there's only maybe the alien and a couple other enemies you can fight in that game, but it just needed more it needed to be cut shorter or to be expanded in other ways. But it was just essentially the same mission, the same threat the entire game. It just got really old.
It's kind of why I like Outlast, because it's just, I would prefer that game not be long. I like that it's short. I think horror games are one of the few exceptions where they should not be long. Max 8 hours, and even then I feel like that might be a lot.
Exactly. And then you got on the other hand, you got your Ubisofts that are, 100 hours long, and they've got 50,000 check marks and side missions and collectibles and areas to unlock. And it's literally the same thing over and over in every game, whether it be the same series developer or not. And it's just go to the tower, press the triangle, you see an overhead view, you collect all, you are now able to see all the activities, you do the activities, and you do that over and over and over again, like 15 times. And that's the game. It's terrible because it becomes extremely predictable. It's chore work. A lot of the side content in video games, generally speaking.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
collect 15 feathers. Like, what the fuck?
The 500 hours, because people are gonna make a YouTube video about like, oh, I did 500 hours for this game. I completed everything. Hopefully, like the side content that they put for all this quantity is like, they're all unique. They're all interesting. They're not like, oh, you could tell they just added this shit just to try to add like hours into the game.
Yeah. I've noticed that when developers try to pad out their games, whether it be backtracking like you saw in Devil May Cry 4, for example, it detracts from the game.
Yeah.
Because you start to realize, okay, this is not an important story beat that needs to be said for character development or some kind of encounter. It's just for the sake of backtracking for the sake of backtracking to padding out the game time.
Exactly. That's how I see it too. Like, they're just all they're doing is this. They're trying to extend the hours on the game, because if they continued it like normally how it's supposed to be, the game would be much shorter.
And then for me, the older I get, the less patience I have for this kind of bullshit. So a lot of games that are coming out nowadays, the open world games, the side content is typically it's not as polished. The presentation isn't nearly as good. The facial capture is like bare bones, and I'm just not motivated because the mission, the content, the character, the story for these side missions.
Yeah, I just rather get to the campaign. Yeah,
I'd rather get to the campaign and figure out, okay, what is the substantial side content in this game? Okay, is it worth my time? Then I'll do it. And if I find it to be boring, I'm gonna completely skip it. That's my whole thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, game's coming out soon. Definitely, you're gonna stream it, right?
Absolutely, day one. I'll say one more thing. Some of my favorite games of all time are games that are literally 2 hours long. Journey, Abzu. Those games are 2 hours long at most, maybe a little more if you're been drinking or had a smoke, but that's beside the point. These games are fucking great, and they're only 2 hours. You know what I mean? And like The Walking Dead, for example, that's what 2 hours an episode, so it's 10 hours total. Like sometimes it's better to sometimes less is more.
Yeah, I guess this is a topic for another day, but like a hot take. I wish people stopped making it seem like a game that's like 8 hours long that it's bad. Yeah, I wish people would stop acting like it is. No, it's not. If a game's 8 hours, which is still a lot, yeah. If a game's 8 hours and it's good, why do you need more hours?
Exactly. Like the Uncharted series, for example, PlayStation exclusive. Everyone loves this series. It's a great series, one of my favorites. And they're shorter experiences. I think the first game was about 8 to 10 hours. Second game was about 15, and then it goes up to 25 with the fourth entry. But the fourth entry has a lot of padding because apparently you can't climb certain obstacles, and you need like a fucking trash can or a wheelie.
Yeah, I fucking hated that.
And we saw that at the most, at the tipping point was The Last of Us, the first game, because there's so many points where you had to get a fucking garbage can and like wheelie.
Yeah, to move it around so you can like get on top of it. Yeah,
it's just padding, and we don't need to see that. Maybe if you're a younger person, a child, a teenager who doesn't have any kind of a basis for comparison, then sure, that's like it's like if you've never had head before, and you get bad head. That's the best head you've ever had because you never have head. You don't have any basis for comparison. If you find a bad game,
after years of experience, when you've had head before, you can differentiate.
Yeah,
you can differentiate the bad ones.
Okay, now she's making me feel like I got the feet of Dr. Seuss character. Like that's great. But now, like when I was a kid, I would play a game, and no matter the length, no matter the quality of the game, I was happy.
That'd be a great video for us to do later. Just is it okay for games to be short?
Absolutely.
I'd love to do a video like that.
We should get our favorite games and like just our favorite short games, and then just talk about them.
Yeah, that's cool. And then the games that I ask because of how long they are.
What do you mean?
Oh no, like if we're gonna do that, but we should also say like certain games that like you felt like they just went on for too long.
Oh, like Alien Isolation, Uncharted 4.
Like let's name games that are short that are good, and also like compare them to games that are like they feel like it did not have to be that long.
Oh, absolutely, there's so many of them. Alrighty, so recently I beat Mafia 1 for the PS4 Pro, and that is a...
Oh wait, something real quick I wanted to bring up.
Hey, go ahead.
Fucking... Because we were talking about like Microsoft and shit. Fucking Cuphead. I didn't know that Cuphead was having a Netflix series. I didn't know that.
Dude, me neither. I found this out recently too.
I didn't know that. February 18th, Cuphead's getting a show, and so far, from judging other people's comments and then looking at the trailer myself, it looks pretty good.
Dude,
it looks like it matches the art style of the game, and the Cuphead and Mughead, they're talking like fucking like people from like 1916, like, hey, what are you doing tonight, boy? Like, yeah. So, like, so far potential. Just wanted to bring that up.
Uh,
I did not know these fuckers that making the show, but that's fucking awesome.
they made it, dude. Like
Mm.
those guys are fucking. They're making that one game just put them on the map.
Yeah, that one game got them so many like plushies, so much like,
Oh, dude,
notice.
that game is just so marketable. They're so cute
Yeah.
and small.
Mm.
And you know anything about people is that anything that's the smaller the thing is, the cuter it is, and the more they want to buy it. That's just how humans work for some reason. But this series, I saw a clip of that. It didn't have any sound to it, but the animation looks on point. It's on par to the game, and so I'm curious whether who's the voice acting. Does it sound good? Like the music, like it's gonna be really cool to see. And I'm watching it day one.
Same here.
Alrighty, so moving on real quick back to Mafia. I beat Mafia 1 off a recommendation from my cousin, and this is a game made by Tango Games. This is a remake from the original Mafia, which came out on the PS1 years ago. And holy shit, this is the best open world third-person shooter I've played in a long time. This in terms of presentation, story, writing, cutscenes, like it's incredibly cinematic. The attention to detail is insane. The game ran really well. The music, everything was just, it made you feel like you're in a 1930s Chicago. So incredible.
Does it give like LA Noir vibes?
Absolutely.
Just like the setting.
Absolutely,
Okay.
but instead of playing the cop, you're playing the criminal, which is cool. It kind of flips it, and you play as a young man who he's mid-20s, early 30s, and he hasn't really done anything with his life. He's just been, and he's a cab driver, and he's not making ends meet. The guy is struggling. He just so happens to be done for the day across his bar. These two men run with guns into the car. They put the gun to his head and they say, "Drive." And he drives, and he does such a well job. Is that, hey, look, man, here's your money for the drive. If you want more work, come to us. Lo and behold, he goes, and it goes from driving to hold this gun for me, and then to shoot this guy,
Oh
execute him.
fuck.
And it just goes. It's that kind of story where it's just one. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts. You know what I mean? Death by a
For the-
1,000
for that-
concessions.
That's how it is for the first Mafia, or which one?
That is the first Mafia.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And this was released, I think, in 2021 or 2020, one of the two, recently. And it's just a great story, twists and turns, funny dialogue. It's dark, gritty. I feel like this game has been slept on, man. More people need to play this game. It's
I'm
incredible.
definitely feel like trying it.
It's incredible, man.
A more mature GTA, I'm down to give a try.
It's a more mature GTA, and here's the best part about this game, and this is going back to our conversation we just had. This game has no side missions. It goes from main mission to main mission to main, and it never goes away from the detracts from the side missions. It's only from a mission to another. There's no open world element to the game except going from A to B.
Nothing more beautiful when it doesn't have fluff.
Exactly, and this game has nothing but quality content. It's incredible. Highly recommended.
How far are you in right now?
No chin.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Mark? I beat Mafia 1. I'm currently playing through Mafia 2. I'm at the end. I just beat it. I have a couple more DLCs to get through before I'm done. But Mafia 2 is also a good game. That's a remaster from a PS. I think it's a PS2 or PS3 remaster. It's not as good, and it's not as polished. It's got more bugs. It just doesn't look as great. It didn't age well. But the story is there, the writing's there, and yeah, it's a good game. But the remake is absolutely leagues ahead.
I think that's actually on Game Pass, I believe. I'm probably gonna check it out later,
You should get it, man.
just to give it a try.
And so moving on, one last thing. I committed a sin.
What has happened?
A game that I started playing recently by the name of Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Sometimes we've had our ups and downs, and so we've had pretty bad downs.
Father, forgive me for I have sinned.
We all make mistake.
So how'd that go? Why'd that happen? Why did you get into it?
I was bribed by my cousin to get into the game because uh, him being a PC player, we have a problem with crossplay games. They're few and far between, and a lot of them tend to be multiplayer based and want to be more PvE based. But he doesn't have anything like that on his side, so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get you the battle pass. If you join, I'll get you that, and we can play. Sure, gave it a try. The game is fine. It's playable. It's good enough. It plays well enough that it keeps me around. This game it leans so heavily on marketing, on IP acquisitions, on just so many accessibility options. There's this strange thing with all of these players in the Fortnite community where they enable a hard of hearing option, but everyone has it, and so this game is in third person, and you go from A to B. You're going to it's a BR, so you have to get to the ring, and there's a ring around your character at all times. And if there's a footstep, a gunshot, an animal, a loot chest, health, anything informational, anything of importance is displayed physically on your map.
Yeah, I think that's corny that it has a.
It's really corny, and here's the problem: if you don't have this, if you're not one of these assholes who go like, I could benefit from the disabled, you are automatically at a disadvantage.
Because it tells you all like the rare loot too.
It tells you where the rare loot is. It tells you not only that there is fire, but it tells you what direction it's coming from. And so it's giving you so much information. There's so much accessibility options in this game. It feels a little diluted, and then you add to that the building and all these other things. It just feels less competitive than an Apex or an Overwatch, which is much more my speed.
I'd like to get back into it just to give it a try, but it won't be my next Apex or whatever.
No.
It's just one of the just to play this for fun.
If you're a big fan of pop culture and Marvel, like, you'll get more out of this game than I do. I'm not. I do like Marvel, but I'm kind of a burnt out Marvel fan, so I don't know. Like, the game is fun, but me being a guy who focuses purely on the shooting, I am automatically at a disadvantage because I don't build. And that's on me, but I'm just fucking lazy, and I don't know, man. Like, I still do well. I get wins, I get kills, but I could be better for sure. All that said,
it's like handicapping yourself, yeah.
I handicap myself, like the kids that are actually handicapped that we're taking advantage of because of the fucking accessibility option. All good pieces of shit, but like you said it best, they should fucking send to your they should send Fortnite, Epic Games should send a fucking doctor to your house and verify that you actually need that fucking option, because
they have the money to do
they have the money to do that, to send a practitioner to your house and give you a fucking eye exam on the spot.
Like, alright, this person should be allowed to use it.
Exactly. They should be given a fucking creator code, and that could fucking go in there and type it in, and then you get the fucking option. It's fucking bullshit.
The dev mode, yeah.
The dev mode. Also, this game features bots. So if the lobby isn't filled, it'll fill the difference in bots. So
that's weird. I didn't know that.
There are points where I've gotten like 8 kills like in a couple minutes. I'm like, how? I'm doing really well, and I'm like, wait a minute, they might be bots. So I'm like, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. This game is easy to start playing and hard to master, but there's also there's a lot of grind. The battle pass, if you don't pay for it, there's absolutely nothing for you. You're not gonna get anything of value, so you have to put money into the game. I know people who have fucking spent $200 on this thing. I don't understand, but I know a guy who spent $1,000 on Fortnite, just skins and emotes and fucking backpacks. Like, this shit doesn't mean anything to me. I like practicality. I like things that I can use and that is gonna benefit me in terms of gameplay sense. Seriously, that's what he told me. Like, sincerely, which is fine, but you need a life, dude. Hey, dude, don't do that. Don't spend $1,000 on a video game, especially when you could buy these skins and there could be some kind of legality trouble, and they could pull that skin out of the fucking store, like they did with Travis Scott, because he just, manslaughtered 10 people.
I need to send you the apology video. I don't think I have.
Yeah. So my final thoughts on Fortnite. It's fine. It plays well enough. There's a slide. The slide is very generous. Like if you slide, you'll slide for like 8 feet. It's crazy. It's pretty good. I like it. The weapon choice is extremely limited. There's 2 ARs. There's 2 shotguns. There's 1 SMG, and 1 sniper. That's it. It's really limited. There's only one PvP mode, which is BR. There's only the one BR mode, which never changes, doesn't get updates. Like, it's at least not from like a setup perspective. Like the mode, there's no variation. It's either solo, duos, trios, or squads. But it's the same mode, and so it's really limited in that aspect. Weapon selection's limited. The guns don't feel good. You cannot sprint and reload at the same time. If you reload in mid-sprint, it slows you down to like a fast walk pace, which really sucks. You cannot slide and reload or go downhill and reload.
Yeah, I just like the lack of mobility. I like the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man swinging looks sick.
When you're done with your current subject.
Oh, Mark, we already talked about Blizzard. But
yeah, we talked about that in the beginning.
Just covered
it. Like, yeah, you have to wait for like the video.
So, Fortnite, it's fun. Shit. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun, and it's funny seeing Kratos doing the Macarena. It's funny. Like I like that.
Seeing Thanos fucking twerking.
Seeing Thanos twerking or doing the funny songs. I like that's cool. That's cool. I like it. But overall, if you're looking for a competitive game with competitive cooperative play, this ain't it. So
there's better games out there.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a better competitive shooters, there's better options out there. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Overwatch Apex. That's where it's at.
Definitely.
So, is there any closing thoughts, Eric?
No, I guess I'm just excited that Xbox is finally getting more IPs. Finally, this shit won't be a VCR like the Xbox One was.
Yeah, last generation was really rough.
It's even fucking Phil Spencer admitted it was like, you know what? Yeah, in the IP department, like, you know, comparing us to Sony, we kind of like lost that, and that's what they're trying to fix. I'm happy that he admitted that, but that's what they're trying to fix for this generation, which is really cool.
Absolutely, Xbox is just, going to a brothel of pure exclusive games, and they're just paying up all the money they got just so they can have a quick fix.
The fact that they're willing to drop like $70 billion though.
They're serious.
They're definitely serious about it.
They're not fucking around anymore, and that's good. Cause, I mean, we've been winning for the past. Well, PS4 came out 2014, so we've been winning for the past 8 years.
7, 8 years.
8 years. So finally, we're gonna have to like get up and work out and do some cardio now.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
But yeah, that's basically. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next. There was this tweet, by the way, that Jack forgot to mention. There was a tweet that said, I don't know who the guy is. His name was like Gary Witter. I don't know who he is, but he tweeted out, and it got like a lot of traction. He had put if you guys think the Xbox announcement was huge, if you guys thought that this was the biggest gaming news, you guys are gonna be shocked for what happens this week.
Oh shit!
So a lot of people are like, "What could be bigger than this?" So definitely something's gonna happen this week. I actually don't even know who that guy is. But
did he mention what company? What?
No. All he said was, I know he's worked on some Star Wars stuff. I think that's what his bio had said.
So he must be EA then.
I don't know. I just know that he said that's just this week. So there's gonna be a news that's bigger than this. So I'm excited. I don't know. That's what he teased. So
could that be PlayStation's Game Pass or backwards compatibility? Could it be a new exclusive? Like Sucker Punch had finished Ghost of Tsushima like a good while ago. Maybe they had
I need to
for
play that.
Infamous.
I need to play that.
Right, like what is Telltale been doing? Like these are all these questions we got.
I mean, I guess we'll just see like by the end of the week what happens.
Yeah, and then we'll be informing you guys, the audience, as soon as it drops.
Yeah, hopefully getting more of these videos out and not disappearing like again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like at least like 1 or 2 videos a month. I think that's enough coverage. I think, plus the little videos that we're gonna pepper in as well.
Definitely, I feel like this chat thing makes it much easier too.
Yeah,
when
for,
I'm not able to go.
For convenience.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, we can still try and put out a video.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So Eric, where could they find you on the interwebs?
Don't look for me. But if you want to, it's Night Slash. Just replace the I with a 1, and that's really all for all social medias. Just Night Slash replaced with an I with a 1. That's it.
You want to see some spicy KI gameplay? Follow
Yeah, if you want to see just dank memes or like random shit or stupid memes, that's why to find me.
True that. And if you want to find me, I'm Tuscan Plays across all social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Black People Meet, White People Meet, Farmers Market, X Videos, PlayStation. Follow me on all that stuff. And yeah, expect another video soon. Yeah, thank you, Eric.
Yeah, no problem. I thank you guys. See you guys for the next video.
Peace.
Bye.